Start in chapter 2 of Wisdom of Solomon. Jeez. It's like my head's cold. My arms aren't. They who said among themselves, thinking not aright, brief and troublesome in our lifetime, neither is there any remedy for man's dying, nor is anyone known to have come back from the nether world, nor haphazard were we born, and hereafter we shall be, as though we had not been, because the breath in our nostrils is a smoke, and reason is a spark at the beating of our hearts. And when this is quenched, our body will be ashes, and our spirits will be poured abroad like unresisting air. Even our name will be forgotten in time, and no one will recall our deeds. So our life will pass away like the traces of a cloud, and be dispersed like a mist, pursued by the sun's rays and overpowered by its heat. For our lifetime is the passing of a shadow, and our dying cannot be deferred, because it is fixed with a seal, and no one returns. Come therefore, let us enjoy the good things that are real, and use the freshness of creation avidly. Let us fill of costly wine and perfumes. Let no springtime blossom pass us by. Let us crown ourselves with rosebuds ere the wither, and let no meadow be free from our wantonness. Everyone, everywhere, let us leave tokens of our rejoicing, for this is our portion, and this is our lot. Let us oppress the needy just man. Let us neither spare the widow nor revere the old man, for his hair grow white with time. But let our strength be our norm of justice, for weakness proves itself useless. Let us beset the just one, because he is obnoxious to us. He sets himself against our doings, reproaches us for transgressions of the law, and charges us with violations of our training. He professes to have a knowledge of God, and styles himself a child of the Lord. To us, he is the treasure, the censor of our thoughts, merely to see him, and it's a hardship for us, because his life is not like other men's, and different are his ways. He judges us debased, he holds aloof from our past, as from things impure. He calls blessed the destiny of just, and boasts that God is his Father. Let us see whether his words be true. Let us find out what will happen to him. For if the just one be the Son of God, he will defend him, deliver him from the hand of the foes. With revealment and torture, let us put him to test, that we may have proof of his gentleness and try his patience. Let us condemn him to a shameful death, for according to his own words, God will take care of him. These were their thoughts, but they erred, for their wickedness blinded them, and they knew not the hidden counsels of God, neither did they count on a recompense of holiness, nor discern the innocent soul's reward. For God formed man to be imperishable, the image of his own nature he made him. By the envy of the devil, death entered the world, and they who are in his possession experience it. Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 3. But the souls are just, are in the hand of God, and no torment shall touch them. They seemed in the view of foolish to be dead, and their passing away was thought an affliction, and their going forth from us utter destruction. But they are in peace, for before men indeed they be punished, yet it is their hope full of immortality. Chastised a little, they shall be greatly blessed, because God tried them and found them worthy of himself. As gold in the furnace he proved them, and as a sacrificial offering he took them to himself. In the time of their visitation they shall shine, and shall dart about as sparks through the stubble. And they shall judge nations and rule over people, and the Lord shall be their king forever. Those who trust in him shall understand truth, and faith shall abide with him in love, because grace and mercy are with his holy ones, and his care is with the elect. But the wicked shall receive a punishment to match their thoughts, since they neglect justice and forsook the Lord. For he who despises wisdom and instruction is doomed. Vain is their hope, fruitless are their labors, and worthless are their works. Their wives are foolish, and their children wicked. Accursed is their brood. Yes, blessed is she who, childless and undefiled, knew not transgression of the marriage bed. She shall bear fruit at the visitation of souls. So also the eunuch whose hand wrought no misdeed, whose held no wicked thought against the Lord, for he shall be given fidelity's choice reward and a more gratifying heritage in the Lord's temple. For the fruit of the noble struggle is a glorious one, and unfailing is the root of understanding. But the children of adulterers will remain without issue, and the progeny of unlawful bed will disappear. For should they attain long life, they will be held in no esteem, and dishonored will their old age be at last. While they should die abruptly, they have no hope nor comfort in the day of scrutiny, for dire is the end of the wicked generation. Better is childless with virtue for immortality in its memory, because both God is its acknowledged and by men. When it is present, men imitate it, and they long for it when it's gone. Forever it marches, crowded in triumph, victorious in unsullied deeds of valor. But the numerous progeny of wicked shall be of no avail, and their spurious offshoots shall not strike deep root nor take firm hold. For even though, this is chapter 4, by the way, even though their branches flourish for a time, they are unsteady and shall be rocked by the wind, and by the violence of the wind uprooted. Their twigs shall be broken off untimely, and their fruit be useless, unripe for eating, and fit for nothing. For children born of lawlessness. What am I doing? Thanks, Shannon. What are you doing? I'm reading. I'm reading the Wisdom of Solomon from the Ethiopian Bible. In the violence of the wind uprooted, their twigs shall be broken of untimely, and their fruit be useless, unripe for eating, and fit for nothing. For children born of lawlessness, unions give evidence of the wickedness of their parents when they are examined. But the just man, though he die early, shall be at rest, for the age that is honorable comes not with passing of time, nor can it be measured in the terms of years. Rather, understanding is a hoary crown for men, an unsullied life, that attainment of old age. He who pleased God was loved. He who lived among sinners was transported, snatched away, lest wickedness pervert his mind, or deceit beguile his soul. For the witchery of paltry things obscures what is right, and the whirl of desire transforms the innocent mind. Having become perfect in a short while, he reached the fullness of a long career, for his soul was pleasing to the Lord. Therefore, he sped him out of the midst of wickedness. But the people saw and did not understand, nor did they take this into account. Yes, the just man, dead, condemns the sinful who live, and youth swiftly completed condemns the many years of the wicked man grow old. For they see the death of the wise man and do not understand what the Lord intended for him or why he made him secure. They see and they hold in contempt, but the Lord laughs them to scorn, and they shall afterward become dishonored corpse and an unceasing mockery among the dead. For he shall strike them down speechless and prostrate, and rock them to foundations, and they shall be utterly laid waste, and shall be in grief, and memory shall perish. Fearful shall they come at the counting of their sins, and the lawless deeds shall convict them to their face. Cursed. No. You said hi, hey. Chapter 5. Then shall the just with great assurance confront his oppressors, who set at naught his labors. Seeing this, they shall be shaken with dreadful fear and amazed at the unlooked for salvation. They shall say themselves, rueful and groaning through anguish of spirit, this is he whom once we held as laughing stock and as a type for mockery, fools that we were. His life we accounted madness, and his death dishonored. See how he is accounted among the sons of God, how his lot is with the saints. We then have strayed from the way of truth. The light of justice did not shine for us, the sun did not rise for us. We had filled our ways of mischief and of ruin. We have journeyed through impassable deserts, but the way of the Lord we knew not. What did our pride avail us? What have wealth and its boastfulness afford us? All of them passed like a shadow, and like a fleeting rumor, like a ship traversing the heavy water of which wind has passed. No trace can be found, no path of its keel in its waves, or like a bird flying through the air, no evidence of its course is to be found, but the fluid air, lashed by the beat of pinions and cleft by the rushing force of the speeding wings, is traversed, and afterward no marks of passage can be found in it, or as when the arrow has been shot at the mark, the parted air straightway flows together again, so that none discern the way it went through. Even so, once born abruptly, came to naught, and held no sign of virtue to display, but were consumed in our wickedness. Yes, the hope of the wicked is like the thistledown borne on the wind, and the fine tempest-driven foam, like smoke scattered by the wind, and like the passing memory of the nomad camping for a single day. But the just live forever, and in the Lord, in their recompense, and the thought of them is with the Most High. Therefore, so they shall receive the splendid crown and beauteous diadem for the hand of the Lord, for he shall shelter them with his right hand and protect him with his arm. He shall take his zeal for armor, and shall arm creation to requite the enemy. He shall don justice for a breastplate, and shall wear sure judgment for a helmet. He shall take invincible pursuits as a shield, and when his sudden anger for a sword, and when the universe shall war with him against the foolhardy. Well aimed shafts of lightning shall go forth, and from clouds as from well drawn bow shall leap to the mark, and from his sling wrathful hailstones shall be hurled, and the water of the sea shall be enraged against them, and the streams shall abruptly overflow. A mighty wind shall confront them, and a tempest winnow them out. Thus lawlessness shall lay the whole earth waste, and evil doing overturn the thrones of potentates. Chapter 6. I think I'll end maybe with this. 0 viewers right now. Hear therefore, kings, and understand. Learn, you magistrates of the earth expense. Hearken, you who are in the power over the multitude. Lord, it overthrongs a people, because authority was given you by the Lord, and sovereignty by the Most High. You shall probe your works and scrutinize your counsels, because though you were ministers of kingdoms, you judged not rightly, and did not keep the law, nor walk according to the will of God. Terribly and swiftly shall he come against you, because judgment is stern for the exalted, for the lowly may be pardoned out of mercy, but mighty shall be mightily put to the test. For the Lord of all shows no partiality, shall be mightily put to the test. For the Lord of all shows sorry For the Lord of all shows no partiality, nor does he fear greatness, because he himself made the great as well as the small, and he provides for all alike. For those in power, a rigorous scrutiny impends. To you, therefore, O princes, are my words addressed, that you may learn wisdom, and that you may not sin. For those who keep the holy precepts hallowed shall be found holy, and those learned in them will have a ready response. Desire therefore my words, long for them, and you shall be instructed. Resplendent and unfading wisdom, and she is readily perceived by those who love her, and found by those who seek her. She hastens to make himself known in anticipation of men's desire. He who watches for her at dawn shall not be disappointed, for he shall find her sitting at the gate. For taking thought of her is the perfection of prudence, and he who for sake makes vigil shall quickly be free from care, because she makes her own rounds, seeking those worthy of her, and gracious appears to them in the ways, and meets them with this solicitude for the first time toward discipline is a very earnest desire for her. Then care for discipline is love of her. Love means the keeping of her laws. To observe her laws is the basis for the incorruptibility. Incorruptibility makes one close to God. Thus, the desire for wisdom leads up to a kingdom. If then you find pleasure in the throne and scepter, you princes of people, honor wisdom, that you may reign as kings forever. Now, what wisdom is, and how she came to be, I shall relate, and I shall hide no secrets from you. But from the beginning, I shall search out and bring to light knowledge of her, nor shall I diverge from the truth, neither shall I admit consuming jealousy to my company, because that can have no fellowship with wisdom. A great number of wise men is the safety of the world, and a prudent king the stability of his people. So take instruction from my words to your profit. We'll end with 7, the complete number, because I did chapter 1 live on TikTok. You can catch me there doing this too. Ethiopian canon. Great text. And I call this Matthew 18:20. I say this every live because I'm trying to build a network online where we can help people in need who need to get help, whether it be mental health, drug addiction, get them off the street, get them into a bed that's going to help them. If we can't find a bed in our city, then we can have a ministry all around America networking that we can find a bed that day for that person, because I know in my past addictions 40 months ago, as of the first, that when you decide you're ready to go, you need to go then, because a lot can change in 24 hours when it comes to addiction. This is my first time reading this book, actually. So, I've never read The Wisdom of Solomon. That's why I bought the Ethiopian canon. Back to this. I too am a mortal man, the same as all the rest, and a descendant of the first man formed on earth. And in my mother's womb I am molded into flesh. In 10 months, period, body and blood from the seed of man, and the pleasure that accompanies marriage. And I too, when born, inhaled the common air, and fell upon the kindred earth. Wailing, I uttered the first sound common to all. In swaddling clothes and with constant care I was nurtured, for no king has any different origin or birth, but one is the entry into life for all, and in one same way they leave it. Therefore I prayed, and prudence was given me. I pleaded, and the spirit of wisdom came to me. I preferred her to scepter and throne, and deemed riches nothing in comparison with her. Nor did I liken any prince's gem to her, because of gold, because all gold in view of her is a little sand, and before her silver is to be accounted mine. Beyond health and comeliness I loved her, and I chose to have her rather than the light, because the splendor of her never yields to sleep. Yet all good things together came to me in her company, and countless riches at her hands. And I rejoiced in them, because wisdom is their leader, though I had not known that she is the mother of these. Simply I learned about her, and ungrudgingly do I share her riches. I do not hide away. For to men she is unfailing treasure. Those who gain this treasure win the friendship of God, to whom the gifts they have discipline command them. Now God grant I speak suitably and value these endowments at their worth, for he is the guide of wisdom and the director of the wise, for both we and our words are in his hand. as well as all prudence and knowledge of crafts. For he gave me sound knowledge of existing things that I might know the organization of the universe and force of its elements, the beginning and the end of the midpoints of time, the changes in the sun's course of the variations of seasons, cycles of years, portions, positions of stars, natures of animals, tempers of beasts, powers of the winds, and thoughts of men, use of plants and virtues of roots. Such things are hidden, I learned, and such are intelligent, holy, unique, manifold, subtle, agile, clear, unsustained, certain, not baneful, loving the good, keenful, unhampered, beneficial, benefit, benefit, kindly, firm, secure, tranquil, all powerful, all seeing, and pervading all spirits, though they may be intelligent, pure, and very suitable, for wisdom is mobile, beyond all motion, and she penetrates and pervades all things by reason of her purity, for she is an aura of the might of the God, and a pure effusion of the glory of the Almighty. Therefore, not that is solid enter her, for she is refulgence of eternal light and spotless mirror of the power of God, the image of his goodness. And she who is one can do all things and renews everything, while herself purduing and passing into holy souls from age to age, she produces friends of God and prophets. For there is not God loves, but it is not one who dwells with wisdom. For she is fairer than the sun and surpasses every constellation of the stars. Compared to this light, she takes precedence, for that indeed night supplants, but wickedness prevails not over wisdom. Indeed, she reaches from end to end, mightily governs all things well. Her I loved and sought, chapter 8, sought after from my youth. I sought to take her for my bride, and enamored of her beauty. She adds to the nobility, the splendor of companionship with God. Even the Lord of all loved her, for she is instructed, for she is instructress in the understanding of God, the selector of his works. And if riches be desirable possession in life, what is more rich than the wisdom who produce all things? And if prudence renders service, who is who in the world is better craftsman than she? Or if one loves justice, the fruits of her works are virtues, for she teaches moderation and prudence, justice and fortitude, and nothing in life is more useful for men than these things. Or again, if 1 years of copious learning, she knows the things of old, and infers these yet to come. She understands the turns of phrases and solutions of riddles, signs and wonders. She knows in advance, and out come the time of signs. So I determined to take her to live with me, knowing that she would be my counselor while all was well, and my comfort and care and grief. For her sake I should have glory among the masses, and esteem from the elders, though I be but a youth. I should become keen in judgment, and should be a marvel before rulers. They would abide my silence and attend my utterance, and as I spoke on further, they would place their hands upon their mouths. For her sake I should have immortality, and leave to these after me an everlasting memory. I should govern peoples, and nations would be my subjects. Terrible princes, hearing of me, would be afraid in this assembly. I should appear noble, and in work courteous. Within my dwelling I should take my repose beside her, for associations with her involves no bitterness, and living with her no grief, and rather joy and gladness, thinking thus within myself, and reflecting in my heart that there is immortality and kinship with wisdom, and good pleasures in her friendship, and unfailing riches and works of her hands, and that infrequently her society there is prudence, and her fair renown is sharing her discourses. I went about seeking to take her for my own. Now I was well favored child, and I came by a noble nature, or rather, being noble, I attained an unsullied body, and knowing that I could not otherwise possess her except God gave it, and this too was prudence, to know who is the gift. I went to the Lord, besought him, and said with all my heart, I continue that later. Thanks for the comments, even the negative ones. Yeah. Good live. Good readings.